and then I'm putting clean gloves on and handling, because I know when I put them in my totes, I actually finish up all my canine traps. I actually put a layer of hay in there. I'll put a layer of traps and a layer of hay, because what does hay smell like? It's natural to them. I mean, if they're in and around farms and areas like that, they're traveling these travel ways, and I actually run level of hay, level of traps, level of hay until I get that tote full. And then when I reach in there, it always smells natural. It smells like I've been in a hayfield. Makes sense? That's what I do for my canine stuff. It eliminates me having to put my hands in there, and then, you know, if you pump gas in the truck or something like that and you got gas spilled out on you or something like that, I always make sure I have clean gloves on when I'm handling my good clean gear that's already adjusted. When I reach in there, every trap's adjusted the same way, and then I know that that trap's going to be ready to roll when I pull it out of there. I can set it and move on. You know, I set 1 or 2 or 3 traps, whatever I need to do. If I'm trapping canines, I set multiple traps most of the time. I'll set 1. If I set 1, I'll set 2, and sometimes even 3 at a location. That way, because you can pull doubles and triples out that way. So I've taken that out. And now I got no clay in this pan at all. There's no side-to-side clay at all. So a little bit on the stout side right there. So I'm going to adjust that just a hair. I'm back off of that pan tension just a hair. And when you do enough of these, you'll get in a groove where you just about tell how many pound pressure it is. You know? What it feels good to you for filing. You can adjust it accordingly. You got an adjustment, and adjustment thing is take it and put it down, and it's 1 pound increments. So it's 1, 2, and about 3, 4, 5, and then 6 pounds pan, and it's all. So around 5 or 6 pounds is what I use for coyote trapping. And especially if I'm in an area like in the area I'm in, I can't actually trap foxes in that area. You'll catch foxes a lot oftentimes, and you know, I can keep the coon there. Just recently we had that opened up in the state where I could catch coon and keep coon west of I-77. Before I had to turn all my coons away. I couldn't keep them, you know. And now that we got such a good coon population, I can actually keep my raccoons, and I've been wearing the raccoon population out up on that end. One thing that you need to do though is you can adjust your pan tension and eliminate catching those animals, non-target species animals there. And what happens is when we throw this up and over now and put this in, you get this nice little level deal. Pan's flat, everything's looking good, it's married up like it needs to be.
When we use that pan tester, do you have to have the trap open to test it, or will it test with it?
I actually set the trap itself, and then I'll take the loose jaw and flip it up out of the way, and then I'll test it that way. I don't like to fire it on the tester.
I got you.
Okay. This is a simple tester, and this is made by Hal Sullivan is what it is. And it's pretty simple, but it works. And I've actually had guys that will take a 1 pound Clorox bottle or 1 pound of sand in a soda bottle and test the pan tension. You can get around testing your pan tension, but you're guessing at best otherwise, you know. So. Now we've got that adjusted out. In North Carolina, what are you required to have on every trap in North Carolina? You gotta have your tag on it, right? So when we get done doing all our adjustment, we gotta make sure we put a tag on it. It's gotta have your name and your address on that tag. It's a requirement by law, state law here in the state, so you have to have that attached or affixed to your trap. That even includes a cage trap if you got a cage trap out there. So if you're modifying traps, make sure the last thing you do is you put that tag on that trap so you're not illegal when you put your traps on.
Do you just put it on the chain, the attached chain, or?
You can put it on the chain, you can put it on the You can put it on swivel. A lot of guys will put them on the swivels there. I personally put it on the trap. I come in right here and off the spring pin, and that's where I put that's where I'll actually put my trap tags. Depending on the model of the trap, I'll put it in certain locations on there. If it's a MB 550, which is what I'm usually running on all my canines, and 650s, I put it on the U-pin on the 650. I'll put it on it and hide it under the pan. I want the wildlife officer to look for it. I know it's there. I put it there, but it eliminates that tag. It eliminates animal biting at it and chewing at it and trying to pull it off too. You know. When you're on the trap line, make sure you carry extra tags with you in your pocket, in your pack basket. You find a trap that doesn't have a tag on it, stick another tag on it and you're good to go, because you'll get a raccoon in a trap, and raccoons are notorious for chewing the tag off of one, you know. But I always take it and I'll put it in a little half thing and I'll actually roll it around there in a circle, bend it around this spring pin.
Roll it on, you don't use a hog clamp or anything.
No, I just roll it right on there. I hadn't had no issues with losing them. And if I do, I always carry extra tags with me. I mean, I just bought 1,000 tags here not long ago, paid $58 for 1,000 tags from Larry Finch in Ohio. And they'll print them out for you. You get the right on tags, anything works. But you gotta make sure you got that tag affixed to this trap at some point. So I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna actually check this thing and get it set. See what I've done here is you got a nice, I want it flat across here, I want it flat across here, and you can see how level that is just in those adjustments I made on that trap. And I got no side-to-side play in this pan. It don't wobble, it doesn't wiggle at all. We've taken this stock trap and improved it greatly to be able to hang a coyote and catch a coyote and keep him. Catch him by the toe, and this is an offset trap too. And I like running offsets for one reason on canines. If up in the mountains up there in the areas I trap, you get these cold nights, and down here you get it down here too. You get cold nights down here in freezing conditions. But what I like to do is I like to make sure that that animal's got blood flow going through that foot. You catch him in an offset, he's got that blood flow going through that foot. If you're going to trap for the live market, like Todd Binky was talking earlier, if you trap for the live market, you need to make sure that that paw's got blood flow going through it. On a raccoon, you know, he's going to chew a foot out usually on the trap, but on canines particularly, when you're going to try to market those canines to a fox pen, you need to make sure that you give that animal every opportunity to have circulation in that foot. I'll even come in here later, maybe on these traps, and laminate them. I'll put an outside lamination and then the inside lamination. And I'll come in there and file that down flat where you get a nice smooth surface so it doesn't cut that foot. It's like Jimmy Pierce said here, one of our past presidents, he stated that, would you let me take a machete and hit you this way? You get that sharp edge, or would you want me to hit you flat? You know, like clapping hands. I'd prefer you hit me flat. I don't want to be hit either way, but you know, I'd rather you hit me flat. You got more surface there that causes less foot damage on that animal. And we're talking about animal welfare, and we're talking about making sure that that animal's foot's taken care of. So when we do that, we actually are able to get that animal out of the trap. The best time to check is when? You're going to check first thing in the morning. If that animal's there, and a lot of times, if I'm running and catching for pins, I'll run every 4 hours and check. I'll check traps every 4 hours. If I'm on the area, I'm trying to pull coyotes out of an area, I'll actually go in every 4 or 5 hours and check traps and make sure if I got something, I'm remaking it, it's ready to go. And you can pull multiple animals that way out of an area pretty quick. I do a lot of damage control work here in the state. I'm a certified agent here in the state, so learning how to modify your traps, getting them where they're going to be. You get nice tint, nice flat surfaces there. You can see that's a very level. What little bit we've done there, we were able to take the slop out of the pan, close this dog down. When that trap fires, and that dog closes out of the way. And then I come in and I'll attach my anchor system. Usually probably what I come in and add another little section of chain here, and then I'll put a shock absorbing device. I use the JC Connors is what I use. I use that shock absorbing device, another swivel. Then I'll actually put a length of chain, and then I'll put my anchor point, and I use the super stakes is what I use on mine for canines. And he doesn't get away. These are the MD crunch proof, but he can't crunch that swivel down and close that swivel down. A lot of your other swivels that come stock on traps, to me, they're too weak. That coyote, when he bites down on it, he's got a lot of jaw pressure. When he bites down on it, he'll shut that swivel down, and what happens if he shuts the swivel down? He's going to be gone. He's going to pull out of that trap. He shuts that swivel down, you want him to be able to turn and rotate. And the coyote will test your equipment, I believe it. He pulls up, he's up and up and up and up, he's bouncing, he's swirling and turning around. You want to make sure you got good equipment there. Does anybody have any questions about what we talked about so far? About what I did? That's some of the things that I do on modifying traps there. And then you got to have a multitude of tools to work with, you know, so that works out pretty good. Having your stuff organized, it helps a lot to be able to get your stuff to do. That's pretty much everything I have there today.
What's the most important tool you have? Like you couldn't do any of the stuff without it.
Most important tool I have for what, son?
Most important tool you have for modifying your traps.
A good set of files. I like files, a good set of files. This is made by Ron Cable. Mr. Florian's got these out there, and they're about $25. They're J-hook, S-hook pliers. These things are excellent for opening and shutting S-hooks and J-hooks on there. Buy a good pair of these, keep them in your pack basket. If you have to do a quick change out of a trap, let's say you got a big mean gnarly coyote out there, or a coy dog or a wolf hybrid dog out there, and he really tears that area or tears the trap up, you can switch traps out. You know, you can actually open those swivels, pop a new trap in, and keep digging.
Close the S-hook really well. They will?
Yeah, they'll close the S-hooks really, really well. They really will.
Open them without tearing them up, too.
Yeah. And these are all handmade. That's what they look like now.
I know Swarm had a pair of
Yeah. I got cable cutters too. And that's good if you work in the beaver line or something, you're snaring beavers, you know. But
you close it by putting the S-hook in with that.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And the J-hook, same way. Vice grip pliers are a great tool also. It's good when that's a portable vise is what it is basically. So I like to have different size vice grips, and it helps me be able to do what I need to do to hold a pan or something like that and modify that. So I do most of this stuff in the off season, and now we're gearing up, getting ready to go trapping. So I got gear ready to run. When I get back this week, I'm going to actually start bowling traps and dyeing them and waxing them and getting them ready to roll. And so November 1, I'll be laying still. Be out there like everybody else. And of course, you always get plenty of swivels, and that's your MB crunch spruce. Plenty of J-hooks. That's a number 6 J-hook, and they work real well. But keeping yourself organized is what you need to do. You can get all kind of tools to work on stuff with. And I just put a little bucket there, and I'm setting fiddling and I can adjust traps. Anybody have any more questions? All right, well that's all I have for today. Thank you.